Alrighty, so simple step number 4. This is one that I think is going to be a good one to dive into, is that we sincerely believe, this is a big topic, kind of a personal favorite, but your website needs to talk to physicians and candidates too. You know, employer branding, that includes the organizational website, is a super hot topic just across every industry sector, but even more importantly for healthcare and physician employers. And I think it is absolutely essential to be competitive for the talent in the marketplace. You know, any hyper-competitive resident physician recruitment landscape, failure to make sure your hospital or facility website talks to them can be a hole that sinks the ship. It really can. It can also make it extremely difficult to actually go anywhere. You know, this is more, and I'm going to click on this is more than a career page and more than a job posting. You know, there are places where you have a career opportunity page somewhere buried 10 layers deep on the website, and usually it's got specific position opening, but also married in there with a bunch of other things for internal operations and different things, nursing and administrative staff opportunities. And this is more than just about distributing job postings to the internal on your internal career page, or even out and on all the different job boards. As Todd mentioned, there's only a small percentage of the job opportunities are actually posted on those sources. So in just about all cases, it is in the hundreds of hospital websites that we've examined at Adventures in Medicine have been asked to examine and assess. Each one of them is either patient-focused, physician specialty-focused, or community-focused. But 201, they either score a D or a complete F when it comes to having some portion of the site be employee or employer-focused. So if you're truly committed to successfully resident and physician recruitment effort in 2017, and to provide the internal and in-house recruitment groups the resources they need to support reaching target and talent acquisition goals, you must be able to start working on building an employer brand on the website. Absolutely essential. So what does this look like? We're not talking about a complete overhaul of the website or having to dedicate thousands of dollars to build something from scratch. But here are some just essential ingredients that we think are absolutely critical to have the website talk directly to a physician candidate. Here's some recommendations. Make sure that there are contact details for each member of the recruitment team, and their email, a direct phone number, LinkedIn or some social bio. A picture is good. I mean, have the details of each member of the recruiting team available. We recommend having an image gallery of video of the facility. You know, that old adage is a picture is worth 1,000 words. I'd even say a moving picture or video is worth 1,000,000. I mean, have something that the people can actually see, your candidates can actually see what it's like to be a part of that organization. Include a testimonial from practicing physicians. What do their potential peers actually think about working there? Write about the work environment, the community of patients, what it's like to live there. Highlight the CEO and include a personal message. You know, having leadership talk about core mission, the principles, the value of the physician talent to this organization is an absolutely significant part of it. I would recommend, and Todd and I recommend with the Adventures in Medicine strategy, is to link to online and social properties. You know, have internal blogs about life as an employee, what it's like to work there, have patient success stories. We think this is a critical one, is link to community resource. Prospective candidates, along with their family members, the partners, the people who are their support system, they need to have access to information about the community that they potentially could call home. So, you know, that to me is absolutely a critical part of it. So, you know, what I think what we ought to do, Todd, is at this point, why don't we show them a sample of what it actually may look like, of what a good one is. As we've done hundreds of these. Let's see. Let me pull this one over. Go back and let me pull up a website here. See if I can pull this up. Okay. Here's what we're talking about. Can you see this, Todd?
Yep.
This looking
Yep.
is it coming through good? Okay. So here's some recommendations. We talked about each of those, and we talked about taking what it looks like. We've done hundreds of these, we'll call them profile pages, for our employer partners, including CHS healthcare facilities. And we know it does not take much to make a significant difference in the prospective candidate's experience. So as well as for the employer recruitment team to have a valuable employer branding platform that we can direct people's attention to and help substantiate that feeling. So Todd, why don't you share quickly a brief story about this particular one, it's Abilene Regional, and some of the things that we were able to accomplish with them.
Yeah, if you want to scroll down a little bit, you've got of course, the address, and if you click on the expand more to view more contacts.
Right here, yeah, I remember that, right.
You have the other recruiters that, whoever's on that team, you have that contact information. But on the right-hand side, you've got the spotlight, and here's a little Q&A from the CEO. What is it like to practice at this hospital? What's the philosophy? It doesn't have to be from a CEO. It could be from a medical director or a practicing physician, but it provides the space for, to kind of start sharing your story, your values, who you are, what you're about, and why maybe a physician would want to come practice with you guys. If you keep scrolling down, we have on the left-hand side now, you have the links. So this is where you have your physician opportunities. This is a resource that this particular hospital built about career planning and resource library, but then you have your social media links as well. You keep scrolling and then you start getting into the testimonials. What is it like to practice at this particular hospital? And some words of wisdom maybe from a practicing doctor. Really important, critical piece of this is a community research. And this is some data that we've pulled with one of our partners. You can get into schools, you can look at houses, you can look at areas, the home values. So if you go back to the schools and go back to the schools, and so here you have the schools. If you click on one of those, I click on any of them, and so it's going to be pulling up some nice demographics. So this is an opportunity for physicians, significant others. What kind of school systems do they have? How are they rated? What are the demographics? And so you can see that there's a lot of information here. So this provides not only a page for you to start telling your story about the hospital, what it's like to practice, maybe practice opportunities. Obviously, if they're interested, they're going to click on the practice opportunities and apply to your opportunity. But this also starts telling a story about your community and what they offer. I mean, if you go into places of businesses, just real quick, Dan. It breaks it down by community. Golf and fitness, health and medical. And so you can expand any of these. What kind of movie theaters? Is there a Walmart? Is there shopping? Is there, what are the golf courses? So you can click in any of these and it's going to start drilling down and providing you a lot more information. So this is a good opportunity to really educate. So in-house recruiters, what they're doing is they're driving people to this page and start, hey, take a look at that community. And, maybe they have some type of church need. They have a belief and they want to make sure that there's a certain type of church there. So this page here is simple, but it could be very powerful. And so what I've noticed in a lot of hospitals, and again, Dan, you've touched on it big time, is you have a lot of hospitals spend most of their money, and the website, it's really for the community. It's for the patients, which it makes sense. I understand. It's very important. But another really big piece, especially as these baby boomers, the doctors are getting older and you're going to have to replace them. There needs to be a spot where people can access a profile page that speaks very specifically about your opportunity, your values, and what you can offer. You got to have that branding for that particular for the candidates. You gotta you be able to send them somewhere. So I don't know if that's what you were looking for, but
absolutely, that's exactly what I was looking for. So I think the message that we want to make sure is here is that there are numerous strategies associated with getting an employer brand page active without having to wait and burden on a web development resource or get marketing involved. You can integrate state level and local level community resources about practicing medicine and or what life is like in that particular state and location, and distributing this profile page across authority sites that can be leveraged once you have in place. But the most important message is simply this: make sure your website talks to candidates too. And we've touched on it, and we'll do it one more time. Most sites are community, patient, or specialty focused. Very few have a place and a platform that says, this is what it's like to come here, this is how important you are to us, these are the contacts that you can have, and we advise that you need to have a place if you truly want to be supporting the habits of the new generation of physicians and residents, as well as to empower your resident recruitment and your physician recruitment operations with a solution that's going to help them drive people to. This is absolutely an essential part of it. So all good? All good, everybody? Okay, give me one in the chat if everybody's still with me. We're ready to keep moving forward. Let me move this out of the way. Todd, how are we doing on time?
We're a little bit behind, but I'm hoping that there's a lot of content. There's a lot of good things here, so hopefully everybody's still with us.
Nice. I think we'll be able to bounce through some of the rest of it pretty quickly here.